Brian Myers here with Primitive Strength, and I had a couple people that have been asking about hip mobility drills. Hips are super tight, hip flexors are tight. I just want to go over a few things that will help you keep those loose, especially if you do lots of deadlifts, kettlebell swings, goblet squats, front squats, anything that is going to get you a lot tighter in the hips. We've got some things that are going to help open those up. A lot of the things that I see, say, just a couple examples, goblet squats or any kind of squats, knees collapsing in, really tighten the hips. People that sit all day long, the psoas and the hip flexors start to shorten. We need to open those back up so that we can maintain a neutral pelvis so it doesn't cause any problems with the knees collapsing in, pulling on the lower back, stuff like that. One of the things that I love is the tactical frog. On the tactical frog, it's going to simulate me being in a squat position, but I'm going to be down on the mat. I don't want to go out too far with my knees to start off with. We're not going to squat like this. So when we start off in the frog, we want to go with a very similar position to your squat position. Like I said, remember, it's important. Do not take the knees out too far apart from each other when you're starting off with this. Okay, feet need to be directly behind the knees and flat if possible. We're going to come down to our forearms, keeping our back flat, and then I'm gently going to rock back and forth and see if I get any kind of tension and any tightness up in here, and I'm looking for it to be a little bit uncomfortable up near my groin and my hip flexors and around my hips. Okay, so I'm going to slowly rock back and forth. I'm going to take my time doing this. This is not something that you do real quickly, okay? It takes time. I'm slowly going to take my knees and try to go out with them each time until I get it to where it feels fairly uncomfortable, not painful, but uncomfortable. Okay, I'm going to spend, a minute and a half rocking back and forth, and then I want to push back and hold. And the time that you spend doing this is up to you, but I would say a minimum of 30 seconds spent right here. Get it uncomfortable, try to relax your hips and let them open up. To get out of this position, I'm going to slowly walk forward, lay down on my stomach, bring my legs together, and let everything relax. Do not ever come straight up out of that position, okay? That is the frog. That's to help loosen it up, so when you go down into a squat, you can open up at the hips and actually sit down into your squat without the knees being pulled in by some tight hips. One that accompanies that very well is the hip flexor stretch, all right? Hip flexors do a lot of work, especially when you're deadlifting and swinging. Want to set myself up in a lunge position, I need 90-degree bends in both legs. I need to pretend that one foot is on one side of the railroad tracks, the knee and the other foot are on the other. From here, I'm going to turn my belly button up to the ceiling. If you noticed, right here, I'm going to tuck my pelvis underneath. Okay, I'm not going to have a neutral pelvis, I'm going to tuck it underneath, turn my belly button, or I'm going to pretend that I have a big old cowboy belt buckle on, turn that up to the ceiling. From there, I'm going to lead forward with my hips, and you should feel that right up in here, okay? It needs to be tight. If I do not tilt my pelvis, I can come all the way into runner stretch and still it's not engaging my hip flexor, okay? So pelvis up, lead forward with the hips. Hold this for at least 30 seconds to a minute, okay? Getting a really good stretch in that hip flexor. Another way that you can get into that stretch a little bit deeper is take the hand up, make the longest point between your palm and your hip flexor, and work that stretch, okay? Relax out of that slowly. You'll need to hit both sides. You can always test and retest these things with a face-the-wall squat, okay? Face-the-wall squat is excellent for your squat positioning, helping you stay upright. So before you do that stuff, come over, test your face-the-wall squat, see how you feel, see how your hips feel. Okay, if you're feeling really tight, if your knees keep collapsing in, if you can feel it in your hips, do a couple face-to-wall squats, go do your frog and your hip flexor stretch, go back and retest your face-to-wall squats and see how you feel. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at the studio or check us out, primitivestrengthama.com. Hope that helps. Thanks.